Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A Rockford Police Department partnership could make officers better prepared to handle certain scenes. Experts from a local health organization will be their backup. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker sends a message to those of us in Region 1. It does not include additional COVID restrictions. Even with COVID concerns, a Rockford Christmas season kickoff will still happen, just not exactly as in years past. We look at the changes on the way for Stroll on Stage. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. When Rockford police are called to a scene, sometimes it's not a clear-cut crime case. Many incidents include someone having a mental health crisis. Police will be the first to tell you they're not experts in counseling. Dylan Sraki shows us a new partnership that will help officers in those situations.
Rockford Police Chief Dan O'Shea admits his officers aren't experts when it comes to mental health service calls. He's hopeful this new program will help local first responders be better equipped to help people in crisis.
We are in no way, shape, or form mental health workers trained to deal with mental health crisis or behavioral crisis.
Starting November 1st, members of the Rockford Police Department and Winnebago County Sheriff's Office will work hand in hand with mental health experts from Rosecrans.
Police don't want to go to mental health calls. We train them to deal with it on a very superficial, quick triage level.
O'Shea also said they'll be proactive and visit people who have had multiple 911 calls in the past in the hopes of preventing a more serious call.
An individual in a mental health crisis does not need to be arrested and go to jail. An individual in a mental health crisis does not need to sit in an emergency department for 2 or 3 days while we try to find an appropriate bed available, which is a big issue in our region.
The pilot program will run for 3 months, during which time data will be collected to measure its effectiveness. After that, city leaders are hopeful a permanent program will be established.
We can't wait until we have this long-term stream of funding. The need is today, and we need to do a better job today at serving our citizens and making sure that they get the care and the resources they need.
Coming up at 6, I talked with a community activist who is a big advocate of today's announcement. He'll share his thoughts on the program. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Dylan Sraki.
Investigators released the name of the man found dead inside a Rockford home earlier this week. He's Andrew Bolds. We told you police consider the death suspicious. According to the Winnebago County coroner, the 54-year-old died from blunt force trauma to the head. Bolds was found in the Parmalee Street home just before 4 Monday afternoon. Rockford police call on the community to help solve the growing number of murders in the city. So far this year, there have been 25. There were just 18 in 2019. This year's total is getting close to a record. In 1994 and 1996, 30 and 31 people were killed. Police Chief Dan O'Shea says detectives are working hard to solve the cases, but the department can't do it alone. In a statement, O'Shea said, quote, "We remain committed to identifying and arresting the offenders, and our chances of solving cases go up exponentially when those who know or those who have information step forward and say so. If you have any information about any of the city's 25 murders, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers." The number of coronavirus cases in the state line is still on the climb. Region 1's 7-day positivity rate hit 10.1% in the last 24 hours. Winnebago County is leading the way at over 11%. Boone is close behind at just under 11. In order to have new restrictions relaxed, the region's rate needs to drop below 6.5 for 3 straight days. But if the numbers continue on this path, stricter mitigations could be put in place. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's, quote, rooting for the region. He addressed the growing positivity rate during his COVID update this afternoon. Right now, Region 1 is the only part of Illinois to have the tighter restrictions in place. Pritzker says every resident has a role to play bringing the rate down.
Region 4 and Region 7 have demonstrated that it is possible to bring down that positivity rate with the tools that we know work, and they're within your power. Wear a mask, keep some physical distance, and encourage those who flout public health guidance to act with consideration for the entire community.
Statewide, the 7-day positivity rate sits at 4.6%. Here's a reminder, if you're visiting FHN Hospital in Freeport, new visitor restrictions are now in place. We told you about those yesterday. No guests are allowed for patients in the hospital. This does not apply to the emergency room, end-of-life situations, or the birthing center, where one visitor is allowed. All visitors must be 18 or older. You can find a complete list of restrictions on mystateline.com. In Wisconsin, an emergency order limiting indoor public gatherings is blocked by a judge. The Tavern League of Wisconsin was granted a temporary restraining order this morning. Sides will meet in court Monday. Wisconsin Health Secretary Andrea Palm issued the restrictions last week. The lawsuit claims she doesn't have the legal authority to do that. To date, more than 158,000 people have tested positive for COVID in Wisconsin. More than 1,500 have died. A local volunteer heads south to help those impacted by a pair of destructive hurricanes. Leslie Luther is part of the Northwest Illinois chapter of the American Red Cross. Luther is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There she is working with elected officials to make sure communities get the resources they need to rebuild. Luther says the devastation left behind is clear, with roofs missing and widespread debris still being picked up. The region was hit by Hurricane Laura, only to be hit again a few weeks later by Hurricane Delta.
What's a little sad about this is that, unfortunately, we see these events happening more and more so. And sometimes it's as if we just kind of think that they happen and really not paying attention to them. And right now, the country is going through so many devastations between the wildfires and these hurricanes that the need is so great for these communities.
Leslie will be in Louisiana for 2 weeks. About 50 volunteers from Illinois are in the region. A downtown Christmas tradition in Rockford will see some changes in the time of COVID-19. Stroll on State will not take place all on one day this year. Events will instead be virtual and spread out region-wide. Stroll will still kick off with the lighting of Rockford's Christmas tree. That will take place November 28th at Davis Park. Santaland at City Hall and downtown decorations will be bigger and better, organizers say.
We want to stay true to the core of what Stroll was, bringing people together, creating moments of unity in our community, supporting and encouraging the support of local businesses, and we can do all of that this year. But again, it's going to be different. We are not going to be gathering downtown Rockford on one day with tens of thousands of people. That's just not possible this year.
You can find complete details and schedules for Stroll on State at mystateline.com. President Trump's Supreme Court nominee is back in front of lawmakers. Senate Republicans portrayed Judge Amy Coney Barrett as someone who can separate her personal beliefs from her judicial rulings. Well, Democrats spent the day asking her about major Supreme Court decisions like the Affordable Care Act and Roe v. Wade. She's largely declined to answer, including when asked by Illinois Senator Dick Durbin about President Trump being able to change the date of the election.
Does the Constitution give the President of the United States the authority to unilaterally delay a general election under any circumstances?
It would be inappropriate for me to make a comment, and I don't think I've answered any legal hypotheticals in keeping with the Justice Ginsburg rule.
Legal experts will testify tomorrow. Judge Barrett is expected to go to a full vote on the Senate floor soon.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
You know, you can find some beautiful color this time of year over parts of northwest Illinois, southwest Wisconsin, and that is exactly what Dave Franks and Leanne did on a drive one day. Gorgeous picture. Thank you so much for sharing your fall photo. C. King at WTVO.com is where you can share those pictures. You might need to get those leaf pictures in because after these windy days, we might not have a whole lot left on the trees. Okay, we will, but a lot more leaves have been blowing around as our winds have been gusting in from the south this afternoon, at times 40 to 45 miles per hour. Some of those current wind gusts still approaching that 40 mile per hour mark. Wind advisory remains in effect for all of northern Illinois. This goes through 7 o'clock this evening. It'll still be gusty tonight, but not quite as strong as what we've experienced here for much of this afternoon. Now, why are we so windy? What causes the wind? Well, yesterday we talked about the strong winds in the jet stream. Today, low pressure passing to our north. That low pressure system really strengthening. And in order for low pressure systems to move, you have to have a change in pressure. All wind is a difference in pressure. And this time of year, when our seasons start to change, we get these rapidly intensifying low pressure systems. And that's exactly what we have to our north. Ahead of that, pressure is quickly falling. That's what allows that low pressure system to move. Behind that, pressure is rising. So the difference in those two increases that gradient around that low pressure system and causes that wind to really pick up. Now winds will die down, but just a little bit. It is still going to be rather windy for both Thursday and Friday. Winds coming in at about 25 to even 30 miles per hour both days, but Saturday could be another windy one too, as we have yet another strengthening low pressure system. But it's that southerly wind that gave our temperatures the boost into the upper 70s this afternoon. Still at 76 degrees in Rockford, 73 right now in Freeport. We've got the cloud cover, and our skies will actually thicken up here as we go through the rest of this evening with those clouds. Cold front to the northwest of us. There have been some showers lining up along that, but because of our dry atmosphere, really not a lot of that is actually reaching the ground. So I think we're going to see the clouds really thicken up here as we go through the night. We could get a sprinkle, maybe a brief light shower, but that is pretty much going to be it as that cold front works through. Now tomorrow morning we will get the clouds, but as drier air comes in, we'll actually start to clear things out and see a little bit more sunshine as we go through the afternoon and evening. This could set the stage for some frost Friday morning. Now Friday is going to be another cooler day. There is kind of a weak little ripple that moves through in the atmosphere Friday afternoon. I know you see blue on there, don't worry. I think we're just going to get some sprinkles as we go through Friday afternoon. Those will continue into Friday evening. Again, some patchy frost possible early Saturday. So even through midnight, our hometown temperatures still hovering near that 60-degree mark, but you see those numbers, they drop back into the low 40s by tomorrow morning. It'll be a chilly start tomorrow, and despite some of the sunshine we get for the afternoon, our temperatures, they just don't warm up much. 54 degrees on Friday, 60 though on Saturday with the wind. Eric will see those numbers drop back early next week with the chilly rain coming down, but by the middle to end of next week, we could see temperatures back into the 60s.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
The White Sox next manager could be one of their old managers. Bob Nightingale of USA Today was the first to report that Tony La Russa is the Sox top candidate. Never mind that he's 76 years old now. That's 5 years older than the oldest current manager in baseball, Dusty Baker of the Astros. La Russa hasn't managed in the majors since 2001. Still, the White Sox have been given permission to interview La Russa from the Angels. He currently works for them as a special advisor. La Russa managed the White Sox in 1979 and 1980. He went on to win 6 league championships and 3 World Series with the A's and the Cardinals. Game 3 of the National League Championship Series is just underway. The Braves lead that series 2-0. Tonight, the Rays will go for a sweep of the Astros in the American League Championship Series. That's a 7:40 start. The Bears have another COVID-19 issue. Offensive line coach Juan Castillo came into contact with someone who has the virus. Castillo won't be allowed to travel with the Bears to Carolina this weekend, and he won't be allowed at Hallis Hall the rest of the week.
These are the times that we're in right now. You know, you get your, you know, there's not much you can do but other than try to keep it at that. And I think now for us, these Zoom meetings that we're doing anyways with some of the players, because of our team situation, you know, that's where we're at right now.
There won't be a Pro Bowl at the end of this NFL season. The league has already scrapped it because of COVID. The league will still name Pro Bowl teams, though, to honor the players. The Pro Bowl had been scheduled to be played in Las Vegas. This will be the first time since 1949 that the NFL won't have a postseason All-Star game. The Illinois Basketball Coaches Association is pushing the state to clear the way for a high school season to begin at the end of November. The association is asking the state to upgrade basketball from Level 2, which allows for only practices and scrimmages, to Level 3, which will allow for games. The IHSA recently surveyed high school coaches. 95% of the coaches were in favor of starting this season on time, November 30th. The IBCA says the mitigations and health guidelines in place have proven to be successful in helping to prevent the spread of COVID-19, while basketball players have participated in summer and fall contact days.
Our first morning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. You see a couple of rain showers showing up there to the northwest, but really not a lot of those actually making it to the ground. Now our cloud cover will thicken up here as we go through the night tonight. We could get in a sprinkle or even a light shower, but otherwise things will stay mostly dry but cloudy. That'll keep our temperatures for the most part mild here as we go through this evening, and we'll hang on to that wind too. But we really see the numbers drop. In fact, we lose a good 20 to 25 degrees from where we were today to where we end up at tomorrow. Kind of brisk for the afternoon. A couple of showers, some light ones Friday, and then 50s next week.
Those changes come in very quickly. Thanks, Candice. Stay safe.